Skyzone.Society.
Yo, what's going on, my good people out here in the zone land? You know what you tapped into, but if you don't, you're now tapped into the Zone Sports Podcast. I'm one half of your host, your boy Big V. You know what I'm saying? For my people out there on the YouTube, you can see, and if you're not, you on the SoundCloud right now, you can hear my other half of my host right here. What's going on, my guy?
Yo, what in the world is going on? Yo, it's your boy Corey, aka COO. What the hell, with another story to tell? You know what I'm saying? For the cats on the YouTube, man, we got a sound for you. I'm Corey, man. Always telling a different story or the same story. It just really depends on the week, man. It's just crazy right now, man. Who knows what type of stories we're going to get today?
You already know, man. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into all that, I got to tell them who we sponsored by, Big Dog. We sponsored by my brand, Skyzone.Society. Make sure you're shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com for all your tees, your hats, your toboggans, your varsity jackets, all that, man. Your candles, get your crib smelling right. You know what I'm saying? It's cuffing season for a lot of y'all. You know what I mean? Yo, shop there. You see it at the bottom of the screen. You feel me? Yo, Corey.
Yeah. Yo,
how your week been, man? You been good, my G?
Man, dog. It's been good. Nothing much that could be complained about, man. It's just sports has just been so consuming my life. I love this time of the year, man. You just get craziness all over the place, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. How your week, man?
Man, everything been all right, man. Let me give a shout out, man, and a get well to all my people out there coming down with the Marion with this COVID thing, man. It's crazy right now. Right. I had two of my close homeboys. They ain't laid up, but they going through the symptoms and going through the motions at the crib.
Yeah.
Got to quarantine and take time off of work. You know what I mean? Missing some money and all that. So, man, rest up to my guys out there, man. Hope y'all watching and listening. You know what I mean? I spoke to a couple of y'all today.
I got a homie going through that as well. This job makes some quarantine for 10 days. Even though they say 5, it's like, nah, you out for 10.
You need 10.
Like,
do 10,
and that's lost pay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that is. Yeah. That is, man. Hey, shout out to him and for good rest up to him and everybody else going through this Omarion and all the kind of COVID they coming out, the flu Rona and all that. I don't even know no more, you know what I mean? But everybody just be safe, you dig? Other than that, though, man, hey, man, my week was all right. I was, it was all right, up until Sunday. But I'm gonna get in there a little later, sports wise. You know what I mean? And and other than that, everything was good, man. Spent some time with the family. Played a lot of video games. You know what I'm saying? Working on some creative stuff behind the scenes.
No doubt.
Just running the companies, man, running the businesses like I be doing, man. Going around still promoting the album. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
3rd of July 2 out right now.
Okay.
And also at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. Get that too while you're out there. Digital and physical copies. Pick it up. You know what I'm saying? But
word.
Yeah, man, just pushing the album and just trying to navigate how I can maybe jump out and do some shows, but damn, every time I think the coast might be clear, it ain't clear, and the venues are shutting down again, Corey. Like, this shit crazy. Like, as of January 10th, I haven't performed in 2 years.
Wow.
In 2 years, bro. Like,
it's crazy. You think it's going to get better, then it's just like, boom, another variant hits, and it's like, right back at square one.
And I'm watching how the big boys moving. A lot of the big boys, they ain't touring like that. They hopped out there at at some of the festivals, Rolling Louds and stuff, but then they hop right back, in the crib in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even seen Nas post no dates for this masterpiece he just dropped with Magic and all that. I ain't seen him post no dates, no shows. So yeah, I'm just trying to move, man, and just trying to make the most of it, like everything else. You know what I mean? But I mentioned, my week was going all right until Sunday. I'm gonna get on that a little later, but I thought it would get better on Monday night because I felt like, I will at least be right about the college championship game, so I can come in here and say, Corey, we were right for a change. ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the podcast, we make some predictions on this show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. We be wrong.
Yeah.
Corey,
Yeah.
we be wrong, Corey. We be
Egg
wrong,
on my
man.
face.
Oh my
every
man.
day.
Listen, bro, like, man, I really thought that we had it in the bag this time, man. Ladies, we were wrong. And if you wonder what we're talking about the college football championship that went down this past Monday night. You know what I mean? Today is Wednesday, January 12th. It happened this past Monday night, man. We came on this the podcast before this one and said, yo, it's in the bag. Alabama got it, at least by 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Minimum. I even went and looked up the last time Georgia beat Alabama.
We did that
2007?
Yeah.
We said, yo, no way. My friend, we were wrong as fuck. And now, you know what? I waited all week because you know what? I waited till we filmed this podcast so I can go back and cut up the old clips of the old podcast. We were saying Alabama had it in the bag. And so when we did this podcast here, I could go back and cut up those clips and drop them just to show everybody how wrong we were. Man. Let me tell you, Corey. You know me, Corey. I like to paint a scenario when I'm watching these things. You know what I mean? I like to paint the scenario of what's going on in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me start from the top. So Corey, I say, you know what? I know the championship game come on tonight. This is me Sunday. I know the championship game come on Monday night. Let me go ahead and hit the gym early. I wake up Monday morning, Corey, about 4:45 in the morning. You know what I mean? Wash my face, brush my teeth. You know what I mean? Start my car. You know what I mean? Get the car warmed up because it's cold a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get my stuff on for the gym. I go to the gym at the gym by 5:15. I leave the gym by 6 o'clock. I said, okay, I got to get the kids up by 7 o'clock, getting them ready for homeschool. You know how I do, Corey. I ain't no thing. I go ahead and do that. Got the kids up, get them situated. You know what I mean? By 7:35, 7:40, they eating breakfast cooling. You know what I mean? Got some time on my hands. Start thinking about what I'm going to do, what I'm going to eat tonight. You know what I mean? I know the game come on. You know what I'm saying? My wife had to go do something. So I said, yo, wife, why don't you just pick up some food? You know what I mean? While you out. She picks up some food. You know what I mean? So by this time, while she out picking up her food, I got the kids situated, Corey, there and there with they snacks waiting on mommy. You know what I mean? They ain't bothering the kid. I'm in there on the PS5 just killing some time. You know what I'm saying? About 6:30, wife get home with the food. You know what I mean? I bring my pizza in the room. I'm eating the pizza, Corey, watching the pregame. You know what I'm saying? Watching all the coaches say what they think gonna happen. Yeah, everybody think Alabama gonna smoke them and all that. Of course, no doubt. I'm ready. I already know what's going on. Didn't get no popcorn. Didn't think the popcorn was neat this time, Corey. Knew it wasn't gonna be. Knew it wasn't gonna be a movie. I knew it wasn't gonna be a movie. Knew it wasn't gonna be a movie. Knew it wasn't. Let the popcorn on. Ate my pizza. 8 o'clock roll around, Corey. I'm geared up. You know what I mean? Watching the game. I ain't really fired up because Michigan ain't in it. But I ain't. But we already talked about that. Peeping the game, Corey. First quarter was tight.
Yeah.
3-0 Alabama. Thought to myself, this isn't how we said it was going to go. This isn't what our predictions were, but cool. You know what? Georgia ain't no slouches. Y'all here, whatever. It's going to end up how I know it's going to end up. Second quarter, they're going to open up a can of whoop ass. Second quarter, Corey. Waiting on the can to open up. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Waiting on the can to open up. Still waiting on. I'm actually waiting on either team to actually score a touchdown. It was a game of kicking. First half. Yeah. I get to halftime. What score might be 9-6?
Mm-hmm.
Bama?
Field goal city.
Field goals, all field goals. Nobody has scored a touchdown. I'm at the crib like, this isn't going as we expected. This isn't going as me and Corey predicted. what the hell is going on with Alabama? So then my mind thought back, Corey, to how we said, yo, this is an off year for Alabama, optically.
Yeah.
Optically. And the optics were speaking, Corey. They were speaking, Corey. Second half comeback, Corey. I'm gonna just fast forward for the people that didn't see it. Georgia woke up. Don't know about Alabama, but Georgia woke up. Second half, Corey, things went a little different. The end of the game, Georgia won the game 33-18, ladies and gentlemen. I just told y'all at halftime, it was 9-6.
Yeah.
Things changed that second half. Man, Georgia had a spark lit up on their ass, Corey. They got a spark, man. Again, we stated that optically, Alabama, this was a down year for Alabama. If it picked the game to show what we meant, it was this one, Corey. It was this one. It showed up on the defensive side and as well as the offensive side. It showed how kind of inexperienced they were offensively, Corey. Sorry. It just did for me. And I say that with them having a Heisman winning quarterback.
Yeah.
And some may say, well, maybe they ran up against a good team. They absolutely did. Yeah. But also a team who they already slaughtered. And I say slaughtered respectfully. You know what I mean? Because that first game, it was a good game. Regardless of what the score was, and I know Alabama won, it was a good game. But this one right here was a great game. Up until the second half. And that's when, man, Georgia opened it up on them. They opened it up on them. And they really showed that optically. And sometimes, man, you know how people say, well, I go by the eye test. I'm one of those eye test guys. Eye test wise, it showed, man, this was a down year for Alabama. And I'm telling you, Corey, some of those teams that might should have beat them are going to look back on this probably next year when they probably going to be full steam ahead like they normally are and say, man, we should have got them last year when we could have, man. Because I don't think next year, I don't see Nick Saban being an optically great team. I see them being a literally great team and probably going back to the championship like they always are. What's your thoughts, man?
Man, dog, when I watched this game, first of all, me and my wife actually forgot that it was coming on because so much NFL action. It was like, oh snap! It's a national championship tonight. So in the beginning of watching this game, especially really to about the middle of the third quarter, I thought it was. I ain't gonna say boring, because I do appreciate defense.
It was tight.
But if you think I want to watch a national championship game done with field goals, you got another thing coming. I don't care. I love defense, but not that daggone much over offense.
I don't even want to see a Super Bowl like that at all. No.
Give me the Big 12 with 60 points any day if I got to pick between the one end or the other. So the first half of it kind of reminded me of the LSU and Alabama championship a few years ago, where it literally was a field goal kick fest and one of by far the most boringest national championships I've ever recalled in recent history.
Absolutely,
man. And then it's like the third quarter happened where Georgia got that touchdown, and I told my wife, I said, really just guessing. I was like, man, I think the first person who scores a touchdown is going to win the game, because I was assuming there really wasn't going to be a lot of touchdowns at this point. I said, honey, coming out of half, I said, whoever scores a touchdown first going to win, and that was Georgia. And then the fourth quarter happened. Oh my damn! I'm watching this, and we're and keep in mind, like, I watch a lot of college football, but I'm not really like deep into the analytical aspects of college football like I am with the NFL. Like, I keep up with my squad, like I keep up with the Tar Heels and the East Carolina Pirates in football. Everybody else, I'm watching it, but I'm not really breaking down. I can't name who none of them got at corner, who's on their front seven, second. I don't know nothing about none of that. But here's what I do know. The nickname Bulldogs for Georgia is appropriate to a T. Let me tell you something, man. we're watching that game. My wife and I, we're watching this game. And keep in mind, my wife, she watches whatever I'm watching in regards to sports. Like I'm the one driving the bus there. And one of the comments that my wife made was like, who are these big Georgia guys on their defensive line?
Huge.
And I said, honey, I have no idea who they are. The only reason I know their name is because it's on the back of their jersey. But I said, these are some collard green eating, cornbread fed having, no neck running mother fathers. And now I'm talking about these guys are running with the speed of a cornerback or a wide receiver or a running back for that matter. Their front seven was just terrifying from the defensive end of Georgia. And I think that from a historical reference, Alabama got a taste of their own medicine of years past, because you could tell roughly around 2 or 3 years ago, Nick Saban, he was like, yeah, defense is cool, but I need to kind of push more towards my offense. And so anytime you do that, it's hard to be stacked at both ends. It's just impossible. Yeah. And I get it. There's not like a salary cap in college, obviously. It's more of a scholarship thing. But most coaches are either offensively driven or defensively driven. And Nick Saban, those dominant years, still dominant years are those of really stacked defense. Yeah, their quarterback might be all right. They might have a killer running back, i.e. like a Derrick Henry back in the day a few years ago, but they're primarily known for their defense. Well, over the past couple of years, that done shifted. You got your Mac Joneses of the world. You got your Bryce Jones of the world. Yeah. You got your Devontae Smith, if I'm not mistaken, wide receiver winning Heisman. So you could tell that the focus would shift now more towards the offensive line. And I think had Alabama been playing anybody else, they would be fine. But they was really playing against a stout defense. Stetson Bennett, like he's cool. He was all right. He made some mistakes. Obviously, Bryce Young for Alabama, he made some mistakes or whatever. There was a lot of blown opportunities on Alabama. A couple of 3 and outs.
A lot of rookie mistakes too. A lot of rookie
mistakes. And I'm glad you say that. Because, and not that I'm into giving passes or anything like that, because Alabama is still Alabama, but Alabama is a relatively young team. Like if you really want to put like classification on it, like the majority of those guys are like freshmen and sophomores. Now, whether some of them are true freshmen versus redshirt sophomores, I don't know about any of that, but I know collectively speaking as a team, they're younger. That team is not just riddled with like juniors and seniors as well. So that's something to also keep in mind. I think this team, will definitely be a hell of a lot better. And that says something because like you said, we were just talking about the last podcast, how this is a down year. Yeah. Their down year is still making the daggone national championship game. And really, they had it. But I got to give props to the Kirby Smart for making the adjustment in second half. With that, because it was a slugfest during the first half. Yeah, that adjustment was made by Kirby Smart. Stetson Bennett took good advantage of it. I mean, and you had your people here like Jameer White getting busy. These guys are good. They got a killer offense too. But man, they ran it down your throat. Pause from the offensive standpoint. You couldn't get anything past them. You couldn't even get a shoehorn in there defensively. Georgia was just a better team, and I think the fact that they played each other once already in the SEC championship helped out to know, like, hey, we know what we got to correct. Overall, I thought it was a good game.
And look, for real though, listen, football is mostly driven by quarterbacks and offense and everything like that. Listen, let's take our hats off again, like you said. To this Georgia defense for holding an Alabama team to 18 points in 4 quarters.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? You know what though, Corey?
Yeah.
I got something that was even more crazier
though. The floor is yours. Oh my God. Dude. I could not believe this. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, bro. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those listening on SoundCloud, I just walked out of my recording space because I don't even really want to talk about what we have to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, for those in the zone land and for, of course, new zoners out there, I'm a huge Colts fan. If you've been listening, you know. If you know me personally, you know the Colts is my team. I have a Colts mask, COVID mask that I walk around in, that I wear to the gym, that I wear everywhere. I'm a proud Colts fan. I mentioned earlier in this podcast that my week was going good up until Sunday. You want to know why? You do want to know why. I'll tell you. Because the fucking Colts lost. Corey, not only was this game not on television, so I couldn't even peep it, I had no intentions on even peeping it anyway. You know why, Corey? We were playing the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars. That's why, Corey. It was no reason for me to even watch. You know why? I said to myself, we played teams this season way more stellar. Last time I checked, what? Jacksonville, the last fucking place in the league, damn near. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, is it them in Miami? Some shit like that? I don't know.
It's Jacksonville.
It's Jacksonville. They down there, Corey. Been stinking up the joint. Urban Meyer been having scandals and all kind of shit going down there. They've been having trouble since before the season even started with the whole Tebow gate and all that bullshit. It was no way in the hell you could have bet me the entire house that I live in that the Colts was going to fucking not make the playoffs? The playoffs? Because of the last place Jaguars? I would have bet every fucking pair of shoes in my closet. And ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all probably thinking, why is that so significant? Oh, I'm a sneakerhead. I have plenty of shoes that I haven't fucking wore that I know. I would have offered up as a bet if you're going to bet me last week that the Colts have to just beat the last place Jacksonville Jaguars to get in the playoffs. How the fuck did we lose, Corey?
You know, man.
But you know, no. Corey, let me tell you. It wasn't even close. And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. Optically, the Jaguars are way better than the Colts did. Corey, you would have thought that we had rested Carson Wentz. You would have thought we rested him because we had a fucking first round bye. Corey, I have nothing else to say, man. I would like for you, but listen, before I even pass the floor to you, I want to tip my hat to your 49ers for having a successful NFL Sunday weekend and a tight game. Tip my hat to y'all. You know what I mean? Congrats to y'all. But Corey, I would like for you to explain to me how the fuck my Colts lost to the last place Jacksonville Jaguars with their no head coaching ass itself.
Man, all right. So I watched the NFL Red Zone with the whip around coverage and all that stuff, mostly during the 1 o'clocks. And again, I'm one of the idiots that buys the NFL Sunday ticket to see my 49ers every Sunday. So I'm basically just watching the whip around coverage because your game was on at 1. So I'm not paying much attention to it, really. I'm paying attention to other games. And so, you know, I'm seeing the score. They got the scores all up on the screen. And I thought it was a joke at first. And then it's kind of like, well, okay, well, maybe, you know, because it's like there's like 3 billion different like playoff clinching scenarios and stuff like that. And I just thought that maybe y'all had clinched like weeks before. I really wasn't paying attention. And so again, my wife is the barometer of all this stuff. And she was like, yo, what's up with the Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars game? I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm looking at the score, and I mean, this ain't like y'all are getting in a close game. Y'all are getting mollywopped. And so she was like, have Jacksonville clinched already? And I said they had to. Like, they had to have clinched maybe a week or two prior. Like, and I just didn't know about it. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe they got the AFC South.
You may have the Colts clinched.
I'm sorry, as the Colts clinched. Thank you. Yes, the Colts clinched. And so I said, of course, they've had the clinch, right? And so I said, well, let me go on NFL.com and look at the standings. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No. They need to win. This is kind of like a win and you're in type deal. And I'm like, they need to win this game to get in. And I said, well, all right. They'll wake up in the second half. It is nothing. And then I turned from the NFL red zone and I watched a great bit of that game during the second half because I'm at the point now where I'm like, well, maybe Carson Wentz got injured.
No.
Maybe Taylor got injured.
No.
Maybe T.Y. Hilton got injured.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe somebody, are they resting? And I'm looking at the game, Big V, and it's like all hands on deck. And I want to give Jacksonville their props, kind of, sort of, but to say that Jacksonville won it more than y'all lost it is insane. I could not believe what I was watching, and I could not believe the margin of victory that Jacksonville won by. The owner came out today, and he's pissed. My wife, she asked me, she was like, well, is Frank Wright coaching position is any type of hot seat? And I said, I don't think so. But then again, you start to think about it more. You start to kind of have time to kind of think about some things a little bit. And it's kind of like, maybe it shouldn't be hot, but man, it damn sure should be warm. That was an unacceptable loss. Injuries is one thing. I get it. And I ain't trying to hear that. Jacksonville ain't that good this year, bro. Jacksonville,
Corey, they were 3-14. They finished the state. They were 2-13 when we played them.
They're locked in for the number one draft.
Pardon me. They were 2-14. We played them. Their third win came at our expense.
Yeah, that is an unacceptable loss. And I don't know what to do. You're more plugged into the Colts than I have. Like, I haven't been watching like the in-season Hard Knocks. I haven't watched that yet. I don't know. Because I think Frank Wright's a good coach, man. I think Carson Wentz is the answer at quarterback. I don't know. You can't lose to Jacksonville when a playoff berth is on the line. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how you got a stud running back who's basically running for free right now, so you don't have to pay. I don't know what the answers are moving forward. I don't. But I know that that's unacceptable.
Corey,
I felt for you, man. I mean, go ahead.
I've came on this podcast since the start, maybe week 3, and I told you the Colts weren't going to the playoffs. I've been vocal about that. We started this podcast by saying we predict shit on this podcast all the time and be wrong as hell. I thought I was wrong too. What I heard last week, when all we had to do was beat the Jacksonville Jaguars to get in the playoffs, I was happy because I was going to come on this podcast today and say, Corey, for once, I'm happy that one of my predictions went wrong. I already had my diatribe ready, Corey, for you. For last week, because I knew Sunday we were gonna be in. I knew, Corey. Listen. I had thoughts of texting you during the game before the blowout because I knew we was gonna smash them. I had thoughts of saying, Corey, I cannot wait to talk about how wrong I was about my Colts, man. We in. Somehow we made it. We in. But no. As I predicted, Corey, we aren't in the playoffs. We aren't in the playoffs. And hello, guess what? I was right about us not making the playoffs. But guess what, Corey? If you would have told me when I said that statement months ago that they weren't making the playoffs, if you would have said, guess why they weren't going to make the playoffs? Because the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be in last place, and they're going to whoop their ass 26-11. I would have said, no way. No. I expect them not to make the playoffs because of other teams that we have to go against because that conference is decent.
Yeah.
But not because of the Jaguars. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I tell you what, real quick on the 49ers game, man, I think that was by far one of the most stressful games I've ever watched.
Hell of a game, man.
I tell you what, if you're not a fan of either team, you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, this is great. If you're a fan of either Rams or the 49ers, you're like, yo, is this effing game over with yet?
Yes.
Man, listen, I got to give props to Shanahan, Jimmy G, and the rest of the team. Because Big V, Jimmy G had that thumb injury, still got it. And the first quarter, he looked like straight Sanford and Son garbage. And the second quarter, I ain't gonna even lie, because this is essentially a playoff game for us, not for the Rams, even though with them losing, I think they dropped from 1 to 4.
Yeah.
I was ready to put in Trey Lance in the second quarter. Because Jimmy G could not throw the ball. And so I'm kind of like going into the game, I'm like, well, Dad, man, we got 2 jacked up options. You got a quarterback who can obviously get us to the Super Bowl and not mess it up, but he can't throw the ball. Or you got really a true rookie in there who could throw the ball, but he don't have any experience. And so I agree with starting Jimmy G, obviously. I think you give him a shot and see how it goes. But you got to understand that we don't win that game, we're home. Like, we're going home. Yeah. And I'll say it wasn't looking good. Jimmy G was throwing underneath a whole lot. He couldn't really get a lot of air under the ball. And then I listened to the 49ers press conference after each game, win, lose, or draw. And he said something that I just don't understand, and I still don't understand, but I'm glad it worked. Because they asked him, they said, man, how has your throwing hand, your thumb, been during the game? And he was like, it's the weirdest thing. It gets better the more I pass. And I noticed that. By the middle of the second quarter, the ball started getting thrown deeper. And then that daggone last play, or not the last play, but the last series before we intercepted it, shout out to Avery Thomas for that last interception. He was able to throw that ball like a good 30 to 40 yards. And I'm just like shooting out cannons. I'm like, and that's the frustrating thing with Jimmy G is like, man, like he could play, but he's definitely going to throw you a pick here and there. He's going to hit you for at least, they had some crazy stats. We're undefeated when he don't throw a pick. The games that he throw 2 or more picks, we lose. They don't really got anything. I guess the 1-and-1s is like half or whatever. I don't know.
He got that Fitz magic thing about him. That Fitz magic thing going for him.
He does.
You know what I mean?
And it's kind of like when his back is against the wall, and when you got this dude back into a corner, that's when he plays the best. And I don't understand it. And moving forward, I know we got to move. I don't know what we do with him next year. I know he's injury prone, and you don't move up to draft Trey Lance and to have him sit for 2 years. Sitting for 1 year is fine. I do feel like eventually we do need to see what we got in Trey Lance. I just didn't agree with it being this season. My paranoia is that anytime that you have a rookie quarterback, basically, you're kind of setting your team back a good 2 years. Okay. They're not going to get it that first year. I don't know no rookie that went to the Super Bowl. I don't care how stout that defense is. You even look at Patrick Mahomes. They got to the Super Bowl. They started getting that first year after he took over for Alex Smith. I'm like, okay, that's cool. The second year, all right, cool. That third year is when it clicks. Normally that third year, especially with quarterbacks, it's when it clicks. So it's kind of like, man, I don't know, but I kudos to them. I'm feeling okay with Dallas more than I am versus when we played the Rams. We're gonna see what's going to happen this weekend, man. But it's gonna be crazy.
49ers Dallas this weekend, right?
Yes, sir. Sunday, 4:30.
We already know who you got, 49ers style. Of course, I'm gonna be rooting for the
Skippy.
I'm gonna be rooting for the 49ers myself. Never picking Dallas, baby. You know what I mean? Never picking Dallas. Hopefully your team can bring me more joy than my team did.
We're gonna try to help you out, man.
Man, let's shift to some NBA real quick, though, man.
Love the NBA.
Love the NBA. It's been a hell of a season. Man, some great games been happening. Man, a couple weeks ago, that Knicks versus Celtics game in the Garden was phenomenal. RJ Barrett hitting that last shot like that was crazy. You know what I mean? But, man, Corey, you know, we earlier in, you know, when the NBA season first started out, we waited a couple of games and we did a segment, you know, we did some respect on your name segment. And you know, we talked about Tyler Hero. We talked about him being the most improved player this season. Man, he's been having a hell of a season. Corey, I gotta ask you though, man. Is Ja Morant a fair run at most improved player? Or should we have him in the MVP category? What are your thoughts on that, man? Because let me tell you, the young boy been showing out. He been showing out since he got in the league. But like you said, Corey, it's something about that third year for rookies, man. When you a star rookie, when it just starts to just mesh and click, man. And man, that young guy been showing out, man. He been showing out, man. What are your thoughts, man?
Let me tell you something, man. Most improved, let's go ahead and scratch that off. Let's scratch that off.
Are we going straight to the top like that?
I'm taking that off the table. Forget the most improved player. Woo! This guy should be in a running for MVP of the NBA for the 2022 season. I watched the game last night against Golden State.
Phenomenal.
And let me tell you something, man.
Clinic.
This guy is a dog. He is a man's man amongst other men. The thing that this guy does is just freaking phenomenal. The way that he plays off the, it is crazy. He don't even need the ball. A lot of people think he needs the ball in the hand. He plays off the ball just as good as he plays on the ball. This guy, because he's been good, he's just better.
Yeah.
When I think of most improved, I think of players who's kind of like, and then it's kind of like, boom, they pop. I'm about to call him Ja Rule, okay? This guy, he has been good for, definitely last year. If you want to say most improved from last year, yeah. Dude, he skipped past that. We got to go ahead and skip him from rookie season to all Madden level. And I know it's NBA, but that's the only thing I could think of. Let me tell you something about this Ja Morant, man. If you saw that block that, albeit he had against our Lakers, LeBron James, and I quote, man said he got rockets in his legs when he jumped up and got that ball and snatched it off the rim from Avery Bradley a few nights ago on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. The guy is an athletic, daggone transforming machine. This guy is an animal. All this guy cares about is basketball. And let me tell you something. I remember when it was between the conversation with Ja Morant or Zion Williamson. And let me tell you something. Ja won. Ja won. Just by being on the court, Ja is winning. But you add in the dynamic aspect that Ja Morant has, and I get it. You know, I'm not really a science guy. It's not really a lot from school that I remember. But here's what I know about potential energy and kinetic energy, Big V. Potential energy is energy that's just stored, not really put to use to anything, but it's there. Can't use it. Kinetic energy is energy in motion. Woo! Energy moving. There's energy right there. Now, for all the zone lands, I'm gonna let y'all pick and choose who is kinetic energy and who is the potential energy. Ja's a dog. Guess what I got? He needs to be in the running for MVP. What say you? Get the gunshots on that.
Man. Corey, I'm not. When speaking on that guy, I'm never gonna disagree with anything you just said. Anything.
Guy's an animal.
That guy's an animal, Corey. I only bought up most improved. You know, just basing it on things that they're gonna base it on. You know what I mean? Just
of course.
Just that. I want to read off some stats for the people out in the zone land and for you as well, Corey. I want to read off some stats for Ja Morant's last 10 games, starting at December 26th. December 26th at Sacramento, he had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. December 27th against Phoenix, 33 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. December 29th versus LA Lakers, 41 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. December 31st, San Antonio Spurs, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. January 3rd against the Brooklyn Nets, 36 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. January 4th against Cleveland, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. January 6th against Detroit, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. January 8th against the Clippers, he didn't play. January 9th, LA Lakers, he came back after he didn't play, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. January 11th, which was last night, against Golden State, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Corey, for the year, he is averaging 24.9 points a game and almost 6 rebounds a game, Corey.
Wow.
Oh, and mind you too, Corey, to put things in more perspective, almost 7 assists a game.
That's crazy.
Corey,
and Memphis got a hell of a squad, bro.
They do. They got some dogs on that team. But I also bring up the conversation about most improved again versus Tyler Hero, because it is only fair. Let me bring up some 10 games, some last 10 games stats from Tyler Hero, bro. Beginning at December 19th, he didn't play. December 21st, 26 points, 5 assists. December 23rd, 29 points, 4 assists. December 26th, off night, 2 points, 8 assists. December 28th, came back, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Next night, 16, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. January 2nd, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. January 3rd, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. January 5th, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. January 8th, 33 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, averaging almost 21 a game, Corey. Shooting 42% from the field.
Woo! Woo. Yikes.
It was only fair that I bought Tyler Hero up to compare him to Ja Morant. Because optically, Ja Morant is tearing shit up in a different level. But boy, if you ever get a chance to watch that Heat game, Tyler Hero is special. That young man is he is special. He is special, Corey. I'm talking about, man. I mean, this young man was coming off the bench doing this, Corey. Understand me.
Wow.
Understand me. Understand me, Corey. Tyler Hero ain't no slouch either. I know we got John Morant, MVP running, against Kevin Durant, the usual suspects, everything like that. And Ja doing, of course. Especially when you watch that game last night. But optically, he's going crazy. He's literally going crazy.
Yeah.
So is Tyler Hero, though. Tyler Hero is going crazy. That boy out there, he's shooting. Bro, he is crazy from three, right? Mid-range game crazy. His three-point game is crazy. Like, bro, coming off that screen, coming off the dribble. He's doing off the dribble, too. He is. He is, man. He is. I'm telling you, man. Down in Miami, he's doing some special things. Some to watch the race between most improved between him and Ja. Because I'm telling if Ja don't get MVP, because it's still early. Still early. Ja definitely, him and Tyler Hero are gonna be neck and neck for that most improved. Gotta be. All I'm saying, I've been rooting for Tyler Hero this whole time. I'm telling y'all. But him and Ja neck and neck. If it comes down to it, most improved, if it comes down to them two, I don't know no more, man. I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know no more. It's something to watch.
And with respect, I haven't seen a lot of Miami ball games this year, so
anytime you can catch him on TV, catch him. Tyler Hero's something special. Especially if we're comparing last year, Tyler Hero, to now, something special, man. And Eric Spoelstra said that this summer he was in the gym heavy. He's done the work. He's done the work. He's done the work. He's definitely done the work. Ooh. We gotta watch it, man. We gotta watch it, man.
All right.
But yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time, man.
Oh, yes.
It's about that time, man. Oh, man, it's about that time for that What the Hell segment by my guy. You know what I mean?
Sir.
Corey, but you got to tell him who is bought to us by.
Man, look, it's the COOL What the Hell segment sponsored by me, myself, solo, no help. The opinions that I'm about to unleash are mine and mine alone. If you want to join me, come on, solo. You know what I'm saying? About to go platinum with this What the Hell segment. Yo, man, got to let y'all know.
Who we got on the menu tonight, man? Who done made the What the Hell list now, Corey?
Hey, man. Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley,
you may know him, this fine young gentleman, as the head coach of the LA Chargers.
Okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, zoners of all ages, young and old, far and wide in between, and everything up and down. He is an aggressive coach. Some may say he's a smart coach. And I've always been told, sometimes, boy, my grandmother used to tell me sometimes you're just too smart for your own good. Mm-hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what Brandon Staley is. Let me kind of recap and bring things back a little bit.
Okay.
There was another game that we did not discuss during our NFL segments earlier between the Raiders and the LA Chargers. They are both in the AFC West. West side. And the scenario was of this. Don't ask me how. I'm not good at math. That's what my wife does. I ain't good at math. But here's what I do know, Big V. Had they tied the game, the Chargers and the Raiders would be in the playoffs. If one person wins or one team loses, that winner will be in, and the loser will go home, making room for Pittsburgh. Again, don't ask me about how all that stuff. I don't know, Big V. But here's what I do know. I know, and this has actually been a hot topic for the past couple of days, and I don't really understand why. So the Chargers and the Raiders They're neck and neck. You talking about a good game. Even though it was late, I fell asleep on part of it because the game just seemed, it was like the game that just never would end, but it was just as good as the 49ers and Rams game. Just going back and forth, Big V. And so we get into the third quarter. Probably about a good 2 or 3 minutes left. And right now, the score is 17-14, Las Vegas Raiders. They're up 17-14. And the Chargers, head coached by Brandon Staley, they are on their own 18-yard line. For those who don't know what that means, who may be new to sports or whatever, you're not on the opponent's 18-yard line getting ready to be what we call in the red zone. You're on the opposite end.
Okay.
You're your own end zone.
Okay.
You are all the way back there, Big V.
Yep.
So Big V, they was down. And let me make sure I get the yardage right. It was on their own 18. And it became fourth down. And so Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, I was listening to them commentating. And I was like, oh, no, they're not going to go for this. They're just going to try to draw the Raiders offside. No, like, that's not going to happen, right? Oh, but it did. And they went for it, Big V, and they did not convert. Now, let me pause before I even talk about what happened past the conversion. Keep in mind how I said the score was 17-14. Now, if you give the Raiders the ball, they're automatically in field goal range.
Right.
And if they kick the field goal, it's going to be 20-14, Big V.
Right.
So they converted. Raiders, they did not convert. I'm sorry. Raiders got the ball because they don't have to kick it off because they gave it up on their own 18.
Gave it up on fourth down. Mm-hmm.
Big V. It's unbelievable. This is essentially a playoff game, right? This is. I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I haven't yelled in a while. I'm yelling. My bad. 1,000 apologies, Big V. Look, man. So I'm up here saying to myself, well, that's an automatic 3 points. I mean, just crazy, right? And of course, luckily, the Raiders don't get a touchdown, but they do get the automatic 3 points. So guess what? It ends up being 20-14. But I'm like, okay, all right, hey, man, you know, we kind of praise our former guy, or still our guy, Riverboat Ron, former head coach of the Carolina Panthers, now coaching the Washington football team. That's where that name came from, Riverboat Ron. Man, you got to gamble, and, you know, it's something to be said about that. You know, you got to have large testicles, okay, to do what Brandon Staley did. Oh, but you thought I was done. Oh, no, we're not done. We're not done. So the game, you know, they managed to get the game into overtime. Again, a hell of a game.
Right.
Just as good as the 49ers and the Rams. And Big V, overtime happens.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they go back and forth. The Raiders, they score a field goal. The Chargers, they score a field goal. So obviously, for those who don't know, in the NFL, if you score a touchdown on the opening possession, the game is over. That didn't happen. The Raiders kicked the field goal. The defense was stout. And them boys that got to be entire on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
And so keep in mind what I said, that if you tie, both of y'all will get into the playoffs. Both. Not one, but both. So Big V, it's about 2 minutes ago in overtime. Raiders got the ball. They're driving. They're not even using timeouts, Big V. They're literally running time off the clock. Now, to be fair, we don't know if the Raiders was going to call a timeout or not, but that ain't really the point at this point. You know, because the same thing still could have happened to where, you know, the Raiders, they call a timeout, run the clock down as much as they can go, you know, and the game is done. But here's why I take issue with Mr. Staley. Let the Raiders call the timeout. Why are you calling the timeout? Big V! Derek Carr. Hold on, let me grab the quote here because I want to be accurate here. Derek Carr, and this is quote. Chargers overtime timeout definitely changed the Raiders' mindset. Now, what does that mean? Because I'm reading in between the lines here. Now, for Derek Carr to say that, I have to assume, and I don't know, I won't never know, that the Raiders was like, you know what, man, let's just end this game. Who cares? We don't need to get anybody hurt. Like, man, look, Chargers, y'all played a hell of a game.
We're going to the playoffs, baby. A hell of
a game. Man, we both going to the playoffs.
We in there.
Oh, but oh no. Oh, not Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley, like, yo, in the words of Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. Well, stop. Not when a playoff berth is on the line, when you know you are not getting that ball back, Big V. And if you are, you ain't gonna do nothing with it. You ain't done nothing all game. Brandon Staley, you let the Las Vegas Raiders call that timeout. And then it is what it is. But see, again, this is where he's been too smart for his own good. He is hoping that by the grace of God, either a missed field goal where someone can either pick it up and run it in and obviously end the game that way. They don't have any time. I think they only had like one timeout left, and I think in overtime they only give you two. Yeah. So it ain't like you can mess around and do that whole deal where some teams is like, okay, well, let's stop them on 3 downs and we'll get the ball back and they have to punt it. That ain't none of that. You only got 2 timeouts at best, and they already done used one. So if you got that one timeout left, Big V, you only got one left, assuming you even get the ball back. Now, granted, Justin Herbert does have the cannon. He got a cannon. No, much respect to the homie. Justin Herbert is a dog, and I love Justin Herbert. But dog, the quote again, Derek Carr says, Chargers overtime, per Sports Illustrated, Big V, timeout definitely changed the mindset of the game. Now, Brandon Staley was asked about this, and this is where the debate comes in. Well, no, you got to do everything to win the game. Of course. What are we doing here? Of course. Dog, it ain't like they both came out in the first quarter and just kneeled down each and every time. Because see, now, Big V, this thing done morphed into a daggone integrity of the game. You play to win the game, Big V. You do all that stuff. Let me tell you something, man. If you telling me that we have to tie to get into the playoffs, well, then we gonna tie. I don't care if it's tying up my shoes. I don't care if it's tying up drawstrings around the daggone garbage bags. When we take them out with the drawstrings, I'm tying up something. Big V. This was a game where no one, and I mean no one, could argue the intensive integrity of this game. Those guys gave it every single thing they had. Absolutely. And I know Pittsburgh fans are going to be pissed off with what I'm getting ready to say. Pittsburgh did not deserve to be in the playoffs this year. They don't. They weren't good enough. No. They won't. No, that wasn't. And I get it. It ain't just a storybook ending, but everything that the Raiders had to go through this year, we're losing John Gruden, losing Henry Ruggs, losing their corner. You know what I'm saying? And all of this is now being done with the interim coach. And Derek Carr is the steady rock of the Raiders right now with Josh Jacobs at running back. Oh, my gosh. And then you got a young and upcoming Justin Herbert. But then you got someone in Pittsburgh who just got finished quoting, well, you know, I don't know if we could beat the Kansas City Chiefs because that's who they go up against next week. Yeah, I don't know what's going to be. That's the guy that's in the playoff. The guy who's like, yeah, well, this is first of all, I'm getting sick of Ben Roethlisberger, but I ain't gonna rant on because we're already going over right now. But I'm about sick of him and his little mopiness. Okay, well, I think this might be my last game. Dude, retire already and get out. He don't even sound motivated no more. He don't. Thank you. So, Brandon Staley, what the hell, man? What the hell? When you calling the timeout, you let the Raiders call it. So you don't call the timeout. Brandon Staley, what the hell? Oh, that's my What's the Hell segment sponsored by my damn self. Unbelievable.
Man, I love it, man. What the hell, Brandon Staley? What the hell, man? Oh, my goodness, man. What a great, funny way, man, to end the podcast. I love this shit. I love these segments, man. You're right. It's going to be a Hall of Fame by the end of the year, man, because it's so much coming. It's so much coming, man. If we would have had this podcast back when Pete Carroll did his what the hell bullshit, boy, I can't. Hey. The whole podcast would have been a what the hell. I would let you have the floor, and you do you the whole show, boy.
And let me tell you something. He definitely deserves an honorary lifetime achievement. What the hell for that stunt that he pulled with Marshawn Lynch by not running it in and throwing a damn inside slant to Malcolm Butler. He's an idiot. I don't care what nobody say. You feed the beast.
Man. Oh my goodness, man. I love it, man. Shout out to everybody that be tuning in to the show every week, man, on YouTube, you know what I mean, and on SoundCloud, catching the clips on social media, man. Shout out to everybody hitting my phone, man, till they be tuning in and they loving the clips, man, that we cut up for the show and everything, man. We love it, man. We love being wrong. We love being right, man. We love talking to the people that love us, man. You know what I mean? For sure, man. Corey, you know, I appreciate you, man, as usual, man, coming out here every week doing this thing, man. You know what I mean? For sure. You know.
No doubt, my brother.
Man, you know, we gotta, you know, we're gonna stay in tune, man, for these wild card games that are popping off this weekend in the NFL. It's gonna be crazy. It's like 20 wild card games, feel like, Corey.
Unbelievable. And
it is crazy
on Monday. Unbelievable.
Man, listen, I'm gonna be listen, this is gonna, bro, let me tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're living in the North Carolina region, listen, they calling for snow late Saturday, going into Sunday, possibly Monday. You know what I mean? Listen, go get your stuff. Go, you know what I mean? Pay attention to the news, all that. You know, react accordingly. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm going to be going to get my popcorn early that Saturday because I know it's going to be a movie somewhere in the NFL, and I'm going to be tuned in, snacking on my popcorn, how I be snacking on my popcorn, Corey. Definitely. I'm going to be in the crib, chilling. It can snow. They talking 5 inches or so, Corey. You know what I mean? Crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. I would love to see it. You know what I mean? You know, I'm cool with it. I'll be at the crib, staying safe as usual. You know, you prepare for it, or you an anti-snow guy.
Yeah, we prep over here. Okay. Matter of fact, I already got my I got a satellite over here, so I already got my broom ready to brush the snow off when I lose picture because we got to keep that.
Yeah, I just don't want the power to go out. Keep the power on.
Whoa, man, yeah, because you know they said it might even be some ice. That's what I'm more afraid of right there.
Man, listen, my power just went out a couple days ago when whatever was going on here with the storm or whatever, man, and it was out for a few hours. You know what I mean? You know, it was all right though, but I don't want that to happen. I want everything to be on so we can stay warm and stay safe.
Yeah,
you know
man.
I mean? So. You be safe out here, Corey. You know what I mean? To my people out here in the zone land, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all be safe. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out, zone land.